Welcome to Tokyosaurus. So what's up in Japan? I'm sure many of you have had the chance to watch the season finale of My Hero's Season 4, which has gotten people quite fired up all over the world. The author of My Hero made a couple of posts on Twitter before the airing and one after the episode aired to hype and thank everyone, which all got over 100,000 likes in the span of just a day. And people absolutely loved the final episode. This has got to be the best episode of My Hero Academia so far, at least for me, in terms of animation and just the overall emotional impact. It wasn't exactly a straight up tearjerker, but you felt something at the end, something different. You felt for Endeavor and his journey because you watched him grow into something better, not just physically or as a fighter, but as a better person. Everything in this episode was going towards the climax of a build-up that was symbolic of an internal rebirth of his character. And even though it may not redeem him as a person for everything he's done in the past, nor did he ever expect to be redeemed for his actions towards his children, but though he is flawed, he knows that. And to see someone struggle through his own ambitions, goals, relationships, both romantic and familial, and continue to move forward one step at a time, never hesitating, always doing all that he can, that, in itself, in my humble opinion, is an endeavor worth pursuing. And is exactly how Endeavor truly becomes the #1 hero he always wanted to be. And so let's go through the episode and see exactly how it happened. The episode starts off with Endeavor's kids visiting the mom at the hospital. They realize that Endeavor has been sending flowers and visits the mom often, but never comes into contact with her because the doctors say that it's not a good idea while she's still recovering. We know that Endeavor isn't a person good with words. He's a man of action, and through his actions, the mom understands that he's trying to face his past and his family instead of trying to run away. This Nomu that Endeavor is fighting is the exact personification of Endeavor's inner conflict that he's trying to resolve. When the Nomu bit onto Endeavor's fist, Endeavor says, "You who have been created to have multiple quirks, who is obsessed with strength, you are me from the past or from another future. Burn up and be put to rest." Basically, Endeavor acknowledges that he became a monster to his family, obsessed with strength and becoming #1. And when you become something like that, you destroy everything that comes close to you, just like the Nomu has demonstrated, and just as he himself has done to his own family. Endeavor is very much fighting against his own doppelganger archetype that we see so often in classical literature. The Nomu didn't look exactly like Endeavor, but as Endeavor himself said, they were very much the same. Endeavor's fight eventually gets him injured on the left side of his face. That would leave a big scar on his face, just like how his actions have led to Shoto getting scarred on the left side of his face too. Is this symbolic retribution for his actions? I don't know. But they definitely wanted Endeavor to have a new look to signify his rebirth after all this was finished. And while we are on rebirth, if it wasn't obvious enough, Hawks' feather on the back of a flying Endeavor shooting up into the sky to burst into a ball of flame. In a typical story of the phoenix would set itself on fire when it's near its death, and rise from the ashes of the flame to become anew, reborn. Endeavor literally does exactly that, but instead of dying and coming back alive physically, it was his inner self that was reborn from the ashes. He has finally accepted that changes need to be made, and that maybe some things were more important than just becoming the strongest person in the world. But through that understanding is what truly elevates him to the position of #1, maybe even without him knowing it. To understand why, you need to look no further than the word endeavor itself. Endeavor means to attempt by exertion of effort, to strive to achieve something, basically an attempt to achieve a goal. Everybody knows the bigger the goal, more likely the bigger the effort. Endeavor the hero is an extreme representation of the word. His family keeps repeating that he never gives up. No one is more stubborn than he is. And to illustrate this point, they actually did this many episodes back when Endeavor and All Might had a private conversation. Endeavor at age 20 had already achieved the #2 spot. And because he climbed there himself, he understood that there was absolutely no way he could surpass All Might and become #1. From a very early point in his career, he understood that, but he still continued to pursue the goal to become stronger than anyone else, which is why he became so fixated on surpassing All Might. But to end that conversation off, All Might told him to not copy the symbol of peace that All Might was going for, and that he should look for a way that suits him instead. And in this fight is where I think All Might has finally accidentally stumbled onto finding it. In this fight, we were shown constantly that people were doubting Endeavor in his fight against the Nomu. People were scared because Endeavor kept getting beat up and injured, and it was clear that he was at a disadvantage. Endeavor doesn't say anything to reassure the crowd, as All Might probably would have. He is not the flashy symbol of peace that everyone is used to. But every time he fell, he got back up, and as cliche as it sounds, he never gave up. But never giving up has a different meaning here, because actually he did give up something. The most stubborn man in the world at this point has given up something he held onto for decades. His endeavor to surpass everyone in strength with no regard for collateral damage. Not giving up is basic how to be a hero 101. But taking each honest step towards a goal you set for yourself, no matter what comes in your way, that is what endeavor truly represents. You will see all the bad and the ugly when you're dealing with endeavor, but you will also see it in an honest and transparent way. Endeavor deals with all its problems, whether big or small, by moving forward, doing what he thinks will bring about the best outcome next. And while he won't become the next symbol of peace, he will most certainly become a symbol of exactly what he represents. He may be battered, broken, or even blinded, but you know the only thing that is on his mind is how to inch himself just a step closer to his goal. Anyways, what did you guys think of the grand finale for Season 4 of My Hero Academia? Did you guys get emotional for this episode, and if so, which part really got to you? As usual, let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, thumbs up the video, subscribe for more What's Up in Japan, and I'll see you guys in the next one.